This video is just a quick troubleshooting tip for anyone who's installed Polyfx for 3ds Max and running into the same type of issue that I've encountered recently. So a few days ago, I purchased and installed this particular plugin. I went through some of the few tutorials that are actually available online, and I followed them to the letter and still could not get this script to work. So let me just go ahead and demonstrate it first. Let me create a simple plane. I'm going to increase the segments to 20 by 20. I'll turn on grid snapping. Right click to exit out of that, turn snapping off, and I may move it up just a little bit so that the grid is not showing through. And I'm going to hit F4 to turn on edge faces. I'll next click on the button in the toolbar to invoke the panel. I'm going to expand it a little bit so we can see the graph editor. And so the tutorials that you'll see simply just require you to pick the object. You'll see it listed here with a little blue boundary around it indicating that you're good to go and ready to get started. Auto time range is not selected by default. You may choose that or not. I'm going to leave it as it is, and everything else is the default. So let's go ahead and click Create Animation, and you'll see the issue here. It hides the original plane object, and then it creates fragments, basically detaching all the individual polygons. And you can see they're visible, just not in the viewport, or at least they're showing as being visible. So when you scrub through the timeline, you don't see anything. And the tutorials that I saw, this was the only steps necessary. But I sent the author of the script a message about the problem that I was having, and he mentioned that you need to scale the polygons here. The problem with that is when you try and select any of these points, you get nothing. If you try to add an intermediate point, you can't do anything. So you're in somewhat of a non-editable mode at this stage. So the workaround that I found, and I don't know why this is necessary, but let's go back to move here. What you need to do is with curves, you have to, for whatever reason, you actually have to select one of these options. You would think that you're already in scale mode, but for some reason you're not. You can't, you just cannot edit here. So immediately when you select this from the menu, all of a sudden now you can actually select the point and move it. You also want to make sure to check auto update, or once you've made your changes, click the update button. Once we scrub through our timeline, now all of a sudden it works. So I hope that helps, and thank you for watching.